Welcome back, everybody, to Unconditional Surrender, me, myself, and I playthrough of the main event scenario. Games published by GMT Games, designed by Salvatore Vasta, developed by Mark Day. We're getting ready to enter into the Western operations of August 1943. The weather is fair everywhere. I thought about trying to do some shenanigans, but I think I want to wait till September, when I'll have 2 surprise attack markers, and maybe I can actually do something useful that way. So I'm just going to go ahead and run the bombers first. Basically, both the American and the British would be at -5. So the Americans are going to run theirs first to Dusseldorf to try and get a bombing in. They're at -4 for sorties, -2 for being a bomber, +1 because they're American. And the Germans are -1 for sorties, or +2 because they're German, -1 for sorties, so they're net +1. So I'm hoping that they roll a 1. There's a 1 in 6 chance I get this bombing shot through. Otherwise, I take 2 sorties. So the the Germans roll a 4, which is not a 1. So they will do 2 sorties to me and 1 sortie to themselves. Now the British can get through on a 1 or a 2, so they will try it at -5. And the Germans roll a 5, so it's not a 1 or a 2. So the British take 2 sorties, and the Germans take another sortie themselves. So it's more of a long-term thing. The Americans pick up another bomber here in November. So sometime like in February or so, I will have 3 bombers to be able to going in poor weather, and I will start to hopefully chip away at his factory count. I'm having a terrible time getting through the factories here. Okay, so that was the bombing campaign, so to speak. I'm pretty much set up here for the invasion. I mean, I have 2 British units I can do invading with, but I only have 1 surprise attack marker. So I'm going to wait till I have 2 and then maybe see if the Germans make a mistake someplace and I can somehow pull off a really good late season invasion in September. I'm also going to set myself up to be able to do a really good assault in September. Trying to go across this river. Both of these units, these German units here, outside of Rome, they're both in rough terrain, so that's -1. And then it's either a mountain ridge or a river that I have to cross. That's -2. So, I mean, if I go at it with mobile attack, the best I am is a +3 to their +2. I might get away with it, I might not, but it also costs me 4 movement points to do that. So that's an awful lot of movement points. I think for this turn, I'm just going to basically solidify myself in Italy and get ready to either do an assault or try some, maybe I'll try some mobile assaults once I'm already up there. So I activate the Americans because they don't cost me any production points. And it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 into Naples. And we turn all of these into Allied control. So Americans just ran around and run through all the cities. And then the British will actually activate the 8th Army and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9, 10, so that they're in a position to either assault on the 18th, or maybe we do mobile assaults at ridiculous minuses or whatever. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The Americans will go ahead and move their airplane up here. Sortie, which is just going to go away in a minute. And then the British, where did it go? The British are also going to activate this guy, so I need to give it to my national tracks and take off 3. For sea transport, this convoy will come with him. They'll move into Taranto. I'll put the convoy out here, take a sortie. And then I'm also going to bring in the 9th Army. Is going to land in Brindisi. And if I can remember to bring it with me with the transport. That's another activation point. So another production point goes down. And this guy also takes a sortie. And then I'm pretty much done for now. These guys will be able to support the British effort up here in Italy. It's pretty much going to be a British affair over time because the Americans will probably go into the south of France when I declare war on Vichy France. And then I have to do supply. This will supply its infantry. So he'll take a sortie, and he'll take a sortie, and he'll take 2 sorties for the airplane and the armored unit. And then the American one, where is it? Oh, American, there you are. He'll take 2 to do the American infantry and airplane. I can reset these things. I'm not going to move anything else. Yeah, that's pretty much. Is there something in Gibraltar? Nope, just the infantry unit. Then we're up here. Those guys are all on supply. So I don't have anything else. I don't have any ground units anywhere else to worry about. So yeah, I'm pretty much done there. And that's the West. I'm going to take a quick break here. I didn't spend a lot of time doing things in the West. I might try to sneak in the Soviets as well. Hang on, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back. We're going to go ahead and go straight on into Soviet operations phase because I only took about 7 minutes or something like that for the British, and I think I can do the Russians in those 25 minutes or so. This might go to about 35 minutes, but since I lost a couple of my offensive abilities here, most of my move is going to be basically move up and attack a couple places to see if I can push the Germans a bit, but in general, I've kind of lost my momentum there. That armored and shock unit here in the center was kind of like something I needed to work on. So, yeah, I think what I'm going to do... Well, first things first, I need to move this airplane up. Or do I? I guess if I want to try and use him to break through, I could move him up and get 1 sortie off somewhere. Where would I be? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe. So the question is where do I go to try and make the best effect? I think I'm going to move him into 3055. Whoops, not the airplane. He's going to go there and take a sortie, so I can use him again. Oh, no. What did I just do? What did I just do? No, it doesn't work like that. There we go. There we go. Up one. There. That's better. Okay. Let's see how we do here. Do we run around and try and get the 15th? I think we run around. So we're going to activate this guy for 2. Get my national tracks up. Put him over here. So I'm going to spend 2 for that. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to attack here. Germans are starting off at +2. I'm starting off at +3. We go to combat commitment. The Germans are like, that's wide open spaces. If he kills that, he can just run these guards units in here to like start getting me surrounded and stuff. So yeah, the Germans are going to play whatever they can, and they do have a tanks marker to drop. So they're going to be dropping this, so they'll be committing, and the Russians are the same way. They have to try and bust it right now because it's important to get through here. So the Germans commit, the Russians commit this airplane. The Russians go up to +5, Germans go up to +4, and now it's who can roll better. And the Russians roll a 3 + 5 is an 8. The Germans roll a 4 + 4 is an 8, so they make a diamond each. And sorry, tanks marker goes back on the turn track for September. And now we're down to a +3 to +2. Why am I going up? What's wrong with me? Let's see. They spent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have 4 left. So they'll spend 2 more to attack at 3 + 2. Or 3 to 2. Russians roll. 5 + 3 is an 8. Germans roll. A 1 + 2 is a 3. That's not good. An 8 to a 3 is a DD. That's really bad. The Germans have to flip. Now where do you retreat to? Because he's going to have another attack, and he's going to be +3 to 0. And he's going to get, well, he's going to get an enemy zone, no enemy zone of control, but he won't be able to actually use any more movement points, so we're going to retreat straight back, I think. I'm not sure. I think that's the right thing to do. And he will take the space, and then he will attack once more, trying to kill German units is always a good thing, because he's +3 to -0, or to +0. And he spends his last 2 movement points to do that. And rolls. A 1 + 3 is a 4. The best he can do is retreat me. And that's what he does. He retreats me, and I will retreat. Well, when I retreat, he's going to be able to move into this hex into there. Or move into this hex into here. Behind me on Kursk. So he's going to surround the freaking 3rd Panzer again. And he could move to attack and capture Kursk. If he moves there, I can't. He's got to defeat the armored unit before he can move into Kursk. But if I put this guy here, he can attack me in Kursk, taking that and getting even more of a surround, so I think I have to go there. Yeah, sorry I'm talking out loud there. Was not expecting this kind of a breakthrough. I kind of missed this. What I was debating is if I went into Kursk, he can take this hex, and then like this guards unit here, or this shock army, can go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He can attack me twice, try and get an army through Kursk. If he wins on the first one, and gets a no enemy zone of control, he could actually move to 2852, which would surround the 3rd Panzer. He could just take another unit, like this 3rd Guards unit here, come up here and attack the 3rd Panzer. He's still going to be able to do that. There's nothing I can do to stop it. But I'm trying to keep him from being able to take Kursk until after he kills the 3rd Panzer. And maybe he runs out of, gets some bad die rolls and 3rd Panzer holds. Then maybe I can keep him out of Kursk. That's the hope. Trying to keep him out of Kursk and Kharkov, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to. Okay. Yeah, well, that was successful. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, boy. I wish I just had a regular old infantry floating around here. I think I want to use the shock armies to try and take out these guys in here, because they're +2s. So I'm going to go ahead and just push up the 10th Guards. So that's 2 movement points. And go 1. Or wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I'm not going to do that. Undo that. I'm actually going to activate the 6 Guards here. And he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. to establish the thing. So that's 2 more. So I spent 2, 4. Then I'm going to spend 2 more right away, so I'm just going to take them off. Be down to 28. And I'm going to activate this guy. And he's going to go 1, 2, 3. And then 4, 5. Not that. So I have 5 movement points left. Oops. And I am +3, and he is +4. Because he's 2 for German, 2 for armor. But he is also isolated, so I get an extra +2. So I'm a +5 to a +4. And I'm just like, I've got like 2 more attacks besides this one. If I get 2 out of 3 of those to be retreats, the Germans go down. So that's what we're shooting for, just retreats while it's surrounded. The Russians roll a 4 + 5 is a 9. The Germans roll a 2 + 4 is a 6. A 9 to a 6 is a DR. So on the very first die roll, they flip the Germans, which is very bad for the Germans because that means they're now they lose 2 because they're flipped. The Russians stay the same and spend 2 more movement points. And then they go +5 to +2 now. Again with a 9 and a 6, which is a DR. We just established that. So the Germans lose the national will. I'm not doing well with the Germans at all this game. They're not holding a thing. And then I take the hex. I have 3 movement points left. Which is upsetting because I can't really get where I want to get. It costs 2 to go across the river, you see. But I could go 1, 2, 3 and take Kursk. Which I think I'm going to do. So we're going to get rid of this. He is going to use his movement points to go 1, 2, 3 into Kursk. Because that's definitely showing the push there. Then they're going to activate the 4th guards. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It doesn't really matter which guards. We're going to activate the 4th guards. There's my national tracks. There's another 2. And then they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 into Kharkov to make the airplane fly away. I'm just going to have it fly back to Kiev. No, I'm going to have it fly down to Depmoshchik. That's right. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to there. This goes away. So I've taken back Kharkov. So that does, the most important thing that does for me is it gives me another Russian factory. My factory count goes up to 6. And now the question is do I want to try and get this last Panzer and totally blow open the entire German southern front? It's kind of hard to do. Or I could just let's see, I'm at 6 there, right? Came out of origin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can go 7, 8, 9, and kill a Hungarian that doesn't do anything. Or I could go 7, 8, and attack the 4th Panzer. He'd be surrounded. And I could throw in my tanks marker, so I'd be +3 to his +4. Which is not very good, but maybe I can get a retreat out of him. And then it's kind of like a combination thing. Actually, I think I go here, 7, and try and hit this thing. And get him to retreat, because you would have to retreat to 2954. And then that would let me surround and kill that infantry and possibly kill the Panzer too. Yeah, we're going to try and be bold and stupid with the Russians. So we're going to go there. we're going to attack the second. So right now we're +1. So that was 1 movement point and then 2 movement points to attack. So now right now it's a +1 to a +2. And I have 3 tanks markers I can use. The Germans can't do anything, so I'm going to go ahead and use one of my tank markers right now to give me a +3. And it's +3 to +2. I'm just trying to get him to retreat so I can kill the Panzer, because then the Panzer would be isolated. That's why I'm doing this. The Russians roll a 4 plus 3 is a 7. The Germans roll a 3 plus 2 is a 5. And a 7 to a 5 is a diamond, so it didn't work. The infantry stayed. And I don't have any more movement points to do anything with, so this just goes back here. So that didn't work. I'm not so interested in trying to destroy Army Group Center as I am to try and get this guy taken care of. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, if I go with this guy, so activate him. Hello? I go 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm at a 0 because of the river. He's at a +2. I throw in a tanks marker to make myself a +2, so we're basically on the same die rolls. +2. And that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 3 movement points left. Not that it would matter much, but there we go. And then we attack at +2 to +2. Russians roll. 6 plus 2 is an 8. Germans roll. 6 plus 2 is an 8. I go, no, we're not running away. We're gonna stay in this pocket and die by lack of supply. Or so it would seem. And so another tanks marker goes on the counters. I can attack him at +0 to 2 for 3 movement points. I'm going to go ahead and try that. Again, I'm just trying to soften this up so I can do something here. I'm running out of movement points. So it's a 0 to a +2. A 1. I'm not going to do anything. And he's a 4. So a 1 to a 4 is just an AS. If he'd rolled a little higher, I could have lost a step. But okay, that's the way that goes. Now we attack with the third guards. I should count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right? I moved 12 movement points worth of stuff. I started at 34. So I should be at 22. Okay, so I'm going to activate this one, and he's going to go ahead and go after the infantry unit. So that's, that leaves me with 8 movement points. Oh, God. 8 movement points. He's +2. I'm +1. I will throw in my last tanks markers to try and get ahead of him. It's not working out. Oh, no. I forgot to do that. I'm not going to activate him. I'm going to play a partisan's marker on the armored unit. No, I'm going to play a partisan's marker on the infantry unit first. Then I'm going to activate him. And now I'm attacking at +1 to 0. And I'm not going to put in my tanks marker at this point. Save that for the armored unit. So +1 to 0 is a, whatever that is, plus 1 to 0. So the Russians roll a 2 plus 1 is a 3. Germans roll a 2. 3 to a 2 is a diamond. And the Russians spend 2 more. And same thing, plus 1 to a 0. They get a 5. Germans get a 1. So a 5 to a 1 is a DR. That flips over this infantry. Excuse me. Which means now the Germans are at a -2. It's -2 for partisan, -2 for being flipped. The Russians are still plus 1. So roll 4 plus 1 is a 5. 4 minus 2 is a 2. A 5 to a 2 is a DR. He can't retreat. So he's eliminated. Another willpower comes off. Unit goes in the eliminated box. And then the Russians will go ahead and take the space. They would be plus 3 because the armored unit is isolated. The armored unit would be at plus 4. So we're going to go ahead and I have 2 more attacks. I'm going to see if I can get off a silly attack here at plus 3 to plus 4. See if I can get lucky and get a retreat. Russians roll 3 plus 3 is a 6. Germans roll 3 plus 4 is a 7. So nothing. And then this would be their last attack. Plus 3. Oh, they got a 9. And the Germans got an 8, so that's also a diamond, so nothing happened there. I'm going to put the partisans on top so I remember to re-roll them later. Then I'm going to activate this guy. Or no. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I could get all the way to there. Or do I want to try in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Do I want to activate him? Or do I want to just kill him with the shock army? Or do I want to use the shock army to, like, go blow up the Hungarians and just have them have nothing down here? Boy, that's a just interesting dilemma for the Russians to be in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They can get off a long way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they can really get extended. I think I'm going to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to try this guy first. First thing we're going to drop a partisan on this guy. We really want to kill this armored unit. So my last partisan, go on the armored unit, so that it will only be at plus 2. And this guy will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Starts off at plus 3, and I add my last tanks marker to be a plus 5 for the first attack. So I'm a plus 5 to a plus 2. I should activate him. Again, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14. Nope. Okay, and then throwing in my tanks markers. So plus 5 to plus 2. Russians roll a 1, so that's a 6. Germans roll a 1, which is a 3. That's not good. Oh, that's a DR. There, you cannot retreat because they're surrounded. So that makes them be flipped. Excuse me on that cough there. I'm going to take a quick drink of water here. So that takes the Germans now down to a 0 because they're plus 2 for German, plus 2 for armor, minus 2 for flip, minus 2 for partisans. And the Russians will only be at +3 because they've used up their last tanks marker. But +3 to 0, and they spent 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They can only attack once more because they have 3 movement points left. Now they only have 1. So they get 1 more attack at this thing. +3 to 0. 1 + 3 is a 4. Germans roll a 4, so they held that. I'm glad I held back the shock because now I have to activate the shock army to kind of finish this off. Puts me down to 19. The shock army is +1 for elite, +1 for shock and fair, +2 because he's isolated, and the Germans are at 0 because the partisans are being flipped, and that cost them 2, so they have 6 movement points left. +4 to 0. They rolled an 8 net. 4 + 4. And a 3. And an 8 to a 3 is a DD or a DRD. Doesn't matter. It's a result that the German Panzer has to be eliminated. I've knocked out 3 German Panzers in the last 2 turns. And National Will goes down another one. And he can take the hex. He has 6 movement points left. 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wouldn't be able to get through. Oh. So I'm not sure exactly where to go. I'm thinking I should breach the Dnieper. It just seems like the thing to do, get myself adjacent to Depnostric. So that's what I'm going to do. This guy's going to move. He's got 6 movement points left. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It stops there, and then I activate the 2nd Guards unit. Takes me down to 17. And then I have 2 points to flip up that guy, so yeah. 1, oh dear, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh dear. Seven. And then 8 knight attacking the Hungarian. So I'd be at +3. +1 for elite, +2 because, oh, the Hungarian's not isolated. Oh, dear. That's not going to work. Okay, it's only going to be +1. Because he's not isolated. He's adjacent to Depnostric, which is friendly. But he's -2 because he's a freaking Hungarian. So, Russians roll a 1 + 1 is a 2. They can't do anything to him. And a 2 -2 is a 0. So they can't do anything. So he just stays there. Oops. All right. I'm down to 17 with the Russians. I need to flip this guy face up. Guards unit, which is 2, and then 5 for all my airplanes. 15 for my airplanes. So that would not, next turn I'll be able to actually build back my dead units. They don't come back till next turn in my mobilization. So that'll give me all my airplanes, and everybody on the board will at least be face up. I didn't move forward in the center. If I move forward in the center, I can't raise up my airplanes, which means the Germans will stymie me in September. So I think I'm going to take my chances, having blown up the south here and kept myself all in supply. By blowing up the south, this whole southern front, I gained a factory. He's only got Romanians and Hungarians and garrison units right here in the front line. He's going to have to withdraw a bunch of these guys from up here. Are going to have to make long runs. He doesn't have any armor to make a really long run. He's got 1, which is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He can get the 1 armored down here kind of to help defend, but he's in a world of hurt. So I'm almost out of time here, so I'm going to say that's the Soviet turn. They've done really well. They got to roll for their partisans. So I'm going to do that. Partisan to the north is 1 turn. That's good. This guy will be back next turn to help me in September. And then, oh, I have 2. And then the one to the south, I roll 3 turns. So he'll be back in 1, 2, 3. He'll be back in December to help me in the winter. Okay, those partisans were key to making this whole southern offensive work. Even though the Germans took out an armored unit and a guards unit, or a shock unit, still, I had enough firepower with partisans to pull it off in my tanks markers. So, and it was all key on me pushing this one guy that was in front of Kursk-Gorel. Once I opened up that, then I was able to surround things and knock things out. That's what you have to do. So we're in the no supply phase. Nobody has a no supply marker. Replacements phase for the axes. This is... here's 1. Right? Got to spend 1 there. Oh, that's British. And I do have units that I need to rebuild. I do have another one up there. But I want to rebuild all my airplanes. And I want to build an armored unit. So I'm going to leave this guy face... No, he's on the board. And at the front, he's got to be flipped up. I'll just build an infantry unit. And then I'm going to do my airplanes. 3, 6, 9, 12. So that leaves me with 2. No, I can't count. 12 minus 16 is 4. Then I'm going to do the 3 for the guys in central Germany. So I have 1 point left to build something with. Okay. And then we go over to the west. We'll do their replacements. Let's do the easy ones first. This is American, comes down 2. This is American, just goes away. And this is American over here. What is this? God damn! Why doesn't it unstack? That's a fleet, so that just goes away. This comes down 2. Okay, did all the Americans, now the British. They've got 28, so they're going to spend 4 for the bomber. Got to keep the threat up. And then they go down here to the Med. And they'll spend 3. 3, 6, 9, 12. I'll spend 12 right away. So take this down to, and this will go away. Oh, no, I did that wrong. Sorry. I supplied myself through the airplane counter instead of the convoy. Convoy should still be at 2, because it would have gone up to 4. The airplane's the one that got cleared last turn. I'm not. People need to yell at me and watch me do these things. And then I don't think I have anything else to do. Right? I don't have any other fleets or anything that I can do anything with. So the British have like 12 points left and nothing to spend it on. It's not fair. Okay. So that doesn't work out well. And then the Russians can't actually build anything in the production phase, so they're going to spend all 17 right now. When we go to Russian replacements, and they're going to spend their 17, they're going to go over here. where is he? This guy gets flipped up. That's 2. And then 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So, the Germans have a little bit of a chance to maybe kill off a guard's tank army if they really want to try and flank me and come after this, but there is sort of a conglomeration. They're right next to Kursk, because they will always be in supply. And there's 2 units adjacent to him, so he might not be able to retreat, but he's not going to be isolated. And he is +3. And, Germans have to think long and hard about what they're going to do there. So that's replacements. Upgrades. I don't think anybody has any upgrades this turn. No. So we can just skip the upgrade phase. We get to mobilization. Germany does have a point left that it can mobilize, so it's going to go ahead and grab an infantry unit and drop it in. It's going to drop it in the east. I don't have a choice here. Probably in Breslau, Posen, I guess. I was not expecting these kinds of losses in the east. I'm losing about twice as many units as I expect to. This huge breakthrough here. I'm going to be back on the Dnieper for sure by September here. I've got this idiot here who's going to actually have broken the Dnieper, which means I probably won't even hold the Dnieper through the winter of 44 because he's already crossed the river. So I have a long way to run and a short time to get there, so to speak, to paraphrase a movie song. Diplomacy phase, nobody's talking. They're all fighting. They haven't conquered Germany yet, but oh my God, they're about to. They're about to make a huge run towards the border of the Soviet Union. End of turn phase. Bring up the task and the faction card. The Germans get back next to nothing. They get back their tanks and their submarines. The Allies get, we get a Soviet partisan, which is kind of important. And then the Soviets get their 3 tanks, which are also very important. They're also going to have a couple heavy artillery for those turns when we have to do an assault, which will make them still be able to take hexes. The West gets another ultra marker. They get another surprise attack marker. And the Americans get a unit to build. Yay! They have an armored unit they can build. The first army is here. The Russians move their 2 eliminated units into the mobilization box. And the Germans are in a world of hurt here because they have 3 dead panzers. 3 dead panzer armies and 3 dead infantry armies. So that's 9 build production points right there that they haven't been able to recover because they've had to move so much in the east. And I think I'm going to run into the same problem this turn. Got just way too much I got to move in the east. So that will take us to the end of August 1943. This has been the West and the Soviets' answer to the German 1943 spring turn. Their little minor offensive. The Russians launched a bigger one. Almost, according to history, the infamous Kursk campaign. Ours was a little bit further south, around Kharkov. This is Dren 608. If you like the videos that you're seeing, please subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. I do answer comments when I get to seeing them. Sometimes I get delayed by real life and can't get to them as fast as I'd like. But there we have it. That's August 1943. The Russians are making a big chance to try and push through the south and kind of roll the Germans up towards the north. And the Germans look like they're going to have to counter it. We will see you next time. Sorry for going over, but I figured we could afford to be 40 minutes long if we had to. Bye-bye.